Jesse Rutherford, how are you?
What's up, John? How you been?
Good, man. How are things with you?
They're going. They're going. You know what I mean? What do you want? They're going, man.
Good, man. I I have to ask, now that I've talked to you about this album technically twice in the last year, is there anything else left on this album that you are going to release more? So maybe we can do this a third time. Because my God, you sat on four pretty amazing tracks that you kept quiet.
Oh wow, you're sweet. Yeah, I mean, we might need to do that. We need to hang out in person eventually and just do a face to face.
Exactly. I know. We're getting closer. I'd love to go with you in November and December on your tour if you'll take me.
All right, we can arrange something. Figure it out. We got to see. Chip brings a lot of wardrobe and makeup, so we may not have any room for you, but we'll see.
The room is tight. I understand. Here's another thing with the price of like used cars and wood and things that you'd never guess a year ago going sky high. Has the price of silver paint maintained a nice level for you, or have you been gouged by it?
I mean, with Stargazing getting so much popularity now, there's been a shortage. So it's hard. Everybody's starting to pay themselves silver. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
You could make a run. It's like this could push prices over the edge, and then people are going, oh, do I get the ticket or do I go with the paint? It's like it's a Sophie's
cost
choice.
Gold down, cost of silver
up. Stargazing, by the way, got a beautifully and artistically wonderfully done video that was one enjoyable to watch. I already love this song, but I heard the song several times before I watched the video, so I wasn't distracted. Then I was nothing but anticipatory when I was watching this video. I'm like, whose door is he going to knock on next? I know these people.
Yeah, man. It was such a fun time, as you could imagine, especially during pandemic mode and everything, and just getting a few friends together to be able to do that. And can't thank all those guests enough for being part of that. It was really, really fun, really cool.
Is that what they were? Are they all friends, or did you call it? I mean, Blake Griffin, Mac DeMarco, Benny Blanco, Lana Del Rey was in there. Are these all just friends of yours that you kind of called and said, "Can I knock on your door?"
Some closer than others, for sure. But Chip was a big fan of everybody, so on his behalf, I kind of just reached out to people and was like, "Listen, I know you're busy, but you got time. This Chip guy is only here for a short amount of time. He really wants you to be in the video." And luckily, the people that said that they would do it did it, and it was really cool. But I've known Alexa Demi for so many years now, so she's been a friend for a minute. Benny Blanco worked with many times. He's a close friend of mine as well. Blake Griffin was a new acquaintance that we had met at a party and just had a great conversation. Ended up being cool and hope to build more of a friendship with that guy. Mac DeMarco was friends with the director, and he was just sweet for being in it. So anyway, everybody was, and Lana, of course. I mean, the queen, was just, I don't know, it's a trip, man. She let us pull up on her, and I don't know, it was amazing. She's great. I love her.
I mean, she's been having a year too, so the fact that you got her at home is amazing.
Yeah, I know. It was really special. It was really special. And Jaden, of course. Sorry, I'm like, I haven't seen it in so long. I even forget about it. But Jaden is the best. I've known Jaden for so many years too. Jaden was one of the first people to ever just show me so much love, show the neighborhood so much love, like in person. Ran into me, was like, "Hey man, I know who you are." I was like, "You know who I am?" You know what I mean? Like, sweet kid, really, really sweet kid.
What other, besides devoting all this time with Chip Chrome and the Monotones, what else have you been doing? Has there been any free time?
Yeah, I mean, there's been tons of it. It's cool that now I get to be doing this with you again right now, because you never know how these things go. You put out an album and you have your couple little weeks where you talk to a few people and, hopefully it works out, and then it's kind of on to the next thing, right? And now, with by the grace of God, or whatever you want to call it, Stargazing starts getting some attention, and now we're sitting here talking again, and, it feels so good because I love doing this and I love having something to focus on, and with no touring and stuff, I've been feeling a little psycho the past 6 months. So
understand. I totally understand. I have been looking forward with you guys with Chip Chrome and the Monotones, and then looking at the same time recently back a little bit. I've been listening to The Factory again and going back to some of those tracks and have
Like
just
myself.
enjoyed
Oh,
that. Yes.
great. Hell yeah.
It's bizarre. But I've been kind of, it's so fun that, like I said, the way you release this album is like, okay, well, I've listened to it all. And I have my, Devil's Advocate, I love, The Shining, I love. And then also you just, these new tracks come along, which I love. That's why when you're saying, what we usually do is release an album, go on tour, think of something maybe while we're on the road, then come back with another album. Is it kind of nice to break up that monotony, even though you're stir crazy and you're like, I can tell every inch of my house and I hate it now? But is it kind of nice to have something different?
I mean, absolutely. And up until like kind of what I was mentioning, up until about maybe not even 6 months, 3 months ago, I was really fully there with that because it's been a blessing for us in many ways. I know that can come off wrong in so many ways for how different people have this time. But in so many ways, it was really constructive for us and has been, it did break up the monotony and kind of really turned it into a new thing on so many levels. And we took a risk, you know what I mean? Like doing the whole Chip thing was kind of like, I probably told you before in our last interview, like either it was going to totally fail or it was going to work. And it seems like it's working enough, I guess.
Have you had a lot of fun kind of pushing and inventing things with Chip, continuing on because you have this time rather than go, well, I can drop it. We're back to the neighborhood. Is it kind of fun because you go, there's other avenues I can still go with Chip and Monotone. Like we can go in different things and we can, are you looking like that? Is that kind of how the near future is?
I go in waves of it where like 1 month I'm like, okay, totally done with it. Ready to move on to the next thing. And then I'm like, ooh, but if I did it this way now, and now again with the song, like it gets inspiring when people like the song and I know that it's, now I'm like, ooh, I want to do it this way. Like, I feel like it was a goal for me when Chip first came about to be able to evolve it and evolve the character of Chip into a high resolution version of this, like, kind of, as I would say, like trailer park alien thing. Do you know what I mean? Kind of Hollywood B-level movie into a little bit more, deluxe per se. And I feel like we're going to be able to now do that out on tour, and especially because Stargazing is really now like giving it more of a runway for people want more Chip, which is cool, you know?
Yeah, no, I love that we're playing it on the air. It sounds so good on the air, but it just seems like, is it a different headspace? I'm not, you can't compare it to Bowie, but are you thinking like it's a Bowie Ziggy Stardust thing? I'm sure there's times Bowie just put all that shit down and he's like, I'm going to go outside and be David Bowie for like 3 days. And this Ziggy thing is going to stay on stage and I'm going to walk back up on stage and I'll become Ziggy again. Is that what it's like to you? Is it a mindset? Is it a real hunker down, this is what Chip does? Or are you just going, this is what I'm going to have Chip do?
God, that's a really good question. I love how you asked that. I could probably think about that for 2 days and get back to you. But it is a mindset because, it takes work to get in front of that mic and do it. Not to mention that the songs, I learned how to play guitar. So these are all songs that I just wrote for the first time learning. I'm still learning this instrument. And I'm up there singing them with a getup that I've never been in before. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not me. Yeah. It really is like an extension of me that is like this dream character that I wanted to be able to become. And mainly I thought I needed to become for the sake of my friends and the band and the fans and all the great things that we've been able to do with this band, with our life, you know what I mean? And have this cool life where I get a fucking studio and get to tour around and sing rock and roll songs with my friends. Just too good to be true. And I wanted to do something that made it feel like I was worth it there. So, playing a guitar and singing up there and playing the songs with the guys with no backtracks or anything and playing for, that's like what a lot of it is about now. You know what I mean? So it's been inspiring, and it is kind of like a different mindset. You know what I mean?
It's fun. It's a cool way to do it in the fact that you said you didn't know how to play guitar. So now you don't have to say, I don't know how to play guitar. You're like, sorry, guys, I fucked up on that chord. Chip's learning guitar. And it's like, you can take yourself in and out of it in a really fun way. I mean, it is a movie. It is a Truman Show-like fun thing.
Yes.
Looking at it, observing it, that I can't, like, you, all the good things, any bad things you have, you can either channel in or channel out of him, which has to be, from an artistic standpoint, one of the highlights of your career.
Wow. Like, yeah. I mean, the fact that you're recognizing it this way, like, it's really, really cool. So, I mean, sorry if I'm speechless, but I'm like...
No, it's just like, if I built a birdhouse and it would be shitty, you're like, I build shitty birdhouses. Whereas you're like, Chip is not a good carpenter. You're like, you can pass off everything. And then, like a cloud, he just can disappear in 6 months or 6 years if you want, which is really, again, artistically a fun angle to be able to do something, with a very different energy too.
It's freeing, man. It really is freeing. And I mean, of course, you know, you bring up Bowie, and of course that was a giant reference point. And I wanted as much as possible to be able to control the narrative, and you could only do so much, because once, you know, look at a song like Sweater Weather. Once it gets out, like, that song's not even mine anymore. I don't even know what that thing is anymore. It's like such a thing. So you never know if that's going to happen in your life. And I've learned sometimes it can. So, you know, the Chip thing and controlling the narrative, it was a big thing for me. So the fact that I knew when I was going to do it, people were probably going to, at best, mention Bowie.
Yeah.
Like, good. That's,
and
I mean,
worst,
I'm never.
And at worst, mention Chris Gaines and Garth Brooks possibly. And you're like, I don't want to go.
Amen. See? But there's levels to it. You could have given me Chris Gaines. You could have given me Kiss. You could give me Bowie. All of them, though, are, in my opinion, like, that's fine. All of them. Dolly Parton, a huge one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, but just like, you know, becoming the thing that you want to become. And, you know, that's what Chip got to do. So that's cool.
Well, I love that it keeps going. It's so cool. By the way, 6 times platinum, Sweater Weather, just March of this year. Congratulations, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
One last really quick question I need to ask, because I know you're very into fashion. You followed fashion for years. Have you watched Halston on Netflix?
Yeah, me and my girlfriend watched it.
Oh, that's so well done. I just got done watching it yesterday, so I figured you would have an appreciation for it. But I good. I'm glad you saw it. I want to leave it at that. I don't want to take up too much more time. But Jesse, thank you so much for the time, man. It's always great talking to you.
Bro, so nice talking to you too. Can't wait to come out there and see you.
We'll see you live very soon. Take care.
Later.
Be good.